time for a few questions, and David would be delighted to respond. So. Yes.
I have a question. Could I get a photo of you with the HAAS family now?
Great. Can we?
This is Bob, our IT guys. You might have guessed he's from San Francisco. Bob got the Golden Barf Bucket Award this last year. When you come to our concerts, it gets kind of messy sometimes. And so the individual that has cleaned the most barf buckets gets that prize in the Golden Barf Bucket. So it's a very esteemed thing for rock medicine. Ellen, did I see a hand? Yes. Yes.
Do you have any ideas how we can inspire the youth, this new generation, to pursue the path of public service, or at least to integrate it into their lives?
Well, for those of you who don't know, Judge Ellen is on the board of directors and a big leader in diversion to treatment from the addiction system. Inspiring the youth in this environment is a real challenge. I tried to incorporate some of these things in my talk. In other words, here at UC Berkeley, I really like the idea that you have reinforcement of that with Robert Reich and inequality for all. And in my era, you had to go to the street to get that. Now it has been more and more incorporated into the curriculum and endorsed by the faculty. In other words, if the chancellor says it's a good idea and the faculty says it's a good idea, then it encourages young people to do that. We find out at the Haight-Ashbury Clinic, a lot of these young people will volunteer and get exposure to public service. The big killers I'm finding when I talk with residents at UCSF and others is student debt. They say, I'd like to do this, but I found, I just heard this battle over student debt, that the second biggest debt behind household debt, behind student debt. And what I hear a lot is, I'd like to do this, but I have such high student debt when I come out of school, I can't. That's really different. I had student debt when I came out, but it was minuscule compared to what the students have to do now. Then you have the battle over the political solutions to that. I heard one of the candidates for the present Republican Party say, well, what we're going to do is give loan forgiveness to the high wage earners. Well, that creates more and more of the two-tiered system. So there has to be a system of managing the fiscal issues. In my particular area, when I met with the head of the White House Office on Drug Abuse Policy around this fiscal issue, and I recommended, as did our American Society of Addiction Medicine, that there would be debt forgiveness for public service. That really would get people like me involved. How you get that through such a politically divided Congress that wants to reinforce the 1% get wealthier and poor get burdened with the student debt, I don't know. But I think political solutions, ultimately, as well as educational solutions, because our experience at medical, I worked with Pam Olton, who's here in the audience. She happens to be my acupuncture teacher, as well as been involved with the clinic for a long time. And we have all these young people that come, and they really like this alternative way of service. Now, that may not stay that way for the rest of their life. Rock medicine, and by the way, we have a number of UC students that volunteer for rock medicine, so they get exposure to the free clinic philosophy. You have to have exposure to an alternate way of delivering service and get it reinforced by peers that you support. But I believe it has to start in the school system. And, young people are the answer to our future problems. So thank you, Ellen.
Dr. Smith?